but something happened there that said that I can follow this line, this work for some time.
Yeah.
And was that just the money?
I mean, the money was a bonus, but it was also fun. I mean, it was a break away from newsrooms and, you know, all the stuff that I was doing prior to film.
Yeah.
So it was new and interesting. So this was just like a journey that I had just begun and pursued for the fun of it.
Right. So, the reason you did these various things, that is start as data entry, do this SEO optimization stuff, then something else, new
I even
foods.
hosted a television show where I
Yeah.
pretended to be a chef.
Yeah. So all these things happen because I'm doing this, but this is not really cutting it for me. I'm doing this, but I'm not really liking this. Is it that
it
or
was
what?
not about, it was not that. It was just, this is fun, let me do this
Okay.
until I wear myself down. And in the meanwhile, I try and find something else.
Right. So till your interest drops off.
Yeah.
In that particular line of work.
Yeah.
And right now, after all that, you landed up as an actor.
Yeah.
And so far, the interest is still there.
Yeah,
Okay.
as of now, yes.
As of now,
but
yes.
I've also begun developing or harboring an interest for writing and directing my own film.
Right.
So maybe you can expect to see me direct a film very soon.
But you just said that you're doing that with Priyadarshi, right?
Again, that depends on the money.
Okay.
And well, the state at which the markets are right now, everything is...
You mean like putting a film together?
Yes.
Okay, right. I want to ask you one thing, as one film buff to another. You know,
but you know, I'm terribly uneducated when it comes to films.
you are not, but let's just ignore that
I'm
for
not
a
being
second.
humble. I mean,
Yeah.
like I know bits and pieces of like
But
a lot of
okay,
stuff.
so I want to ask you this question. I think you can answer it. Now, Telugu cinema has this distinction of being the first industry to breach the pan-India barrier, right? Thanks to S.S. Rajamouli and Bahubali 1 and 2, right? Those are the first two films that technically went the whole country and all that. There might have been hits earlier that traveled in their own language, this and but this just went berserk in a different way. Now, when that happens, such a level of success happens, and that begins, people want to now say, I want to do this, and then Pushpa happens, and this and that and all that. I find that the Bahubalis and the RRRs and the Pushpas are there, but there are more failures in trying to emulate that model than there are successes.
Yeah.
So do you think that this searching for this pan-India thing, or doing a film as a pan-India project, do you think that has resulted in other industries, and I'm including Tamil also, I'm including certain other industries also, kind of getting a little lost in the way?
Well, this is way beyond my scope of expertise, but you know, I always think of cinema as, say, hot water, steam, right? You can use steam to spin turbines, and that creates electricity. You can generate steam by boiling hot water. And
Right.
how do you boil hot water? How do you boil water? You can use a kettle or a gas stove or an immersion rod, or the most extreme and the most expensive way of boiling water is to set up a nuclear reactor.
Yeah.
Now, if you imagine any of these big budget pan-Indian films to be nuclear reactors, at the end of the day, they just produce electricity, which is cinema, right? Now, the thing is, because of the enormous success of these big budget films, the need to emulate that nuclear reactor model is the trend. And I don't see why, though, because it doesn't seem very efficient.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still cinema, and cinema is just light and sound, right? So you can make a film in 75 lakhs, or you can make a film in 7,500 crores. But at the end of the day, it has to entertain audience.
Yeah.
That's where I get at in the first place.
No, where I was also getting at is because I don't know numbers and all that kind of stuff. So again, this is not my area of expertise. But what I'm trying to say is that because I feel that a lot of people have gotten fixated on that.
Because a nuclear reactor seems fancy, right?
Right.
It feels sophisticated. It's big. It's size, scale. You know.
Yeah.
It's technique. It is you know, all of the stuff that we think we can control and understand sometimes.
Yeah.
So I you know, it's the fascination with size. I feel inherently film fraternities across the world have like an ingrained size complex. Like
Right.
there's always something about size that people need to talk about.
the bigness of it all.
Yeah, the vastness, and I don't know what else it is.
Right. But when, the thing is, there is this tendency to say that, oh yeah, there is a balagam that works, or there is a court that works. But again, I find that those are maybe 2 or 3 in a year. So I don't really understand it when people say, like when they say that, oh, there are some small movies that are working and all that. But then an industry cannot sustain itself on the basis of small movies working alone, because the amount of money that they bring in is not a fraction of the opening day of a big blockbuster or something like that. Just like, so I wonder how this whole economics is going to finally work out.
I don't know. I mean, if we all knew, we'd all be making successful films. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the magic of it. We don't know what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
That's the reason why millions of us get here to try and figure out what the hell we are doing here in the first place and how do we do it in the first place.
So so isn't the easier option in this to be an actor?
Recreate the same formula that works? Yeah, it is. I find my peers doing the same thing. I mean, I have no problems with that. It's just something that I cannot do.
You cannot do.
On a personal
because
level.
You want satisfaction at the end of the day.
I want joy. I want to have fun.
Okay.
Like, I don't want to wake up regretting that I have to go to a shoot or, do this or do that or say this or, promote a film when I know it's not something that I enjoy. And, I don't watch my own films most of the time.
So tell me one thing. When you say fun, you want a unit that derives some kind of creative joy in making a film? What is that fun?
Fun is to be so immersed in the experience of making something.
Okay.
That I have to forget that I have to go back home.
Okay.
Like, imagine being part of a film that I like so much that it just feels sad that the day has ended, that I have to go back home.
Okay. I'll give you any other job. They are going to have, you can't go to a regular job, any other job. Like, let's say you're a cardiac surgeon, right? You're not going to go every day and say, I'm going to perform this life-transforming, miraculous operation. Sometimes it's just going to be something that you do every other day.
Yeah.
Why is this not?
But I can't treat this as a job. I don't know. I've never been a cardiac surgeon, so I don't know how a cardiac surgeon feels.
I was giving an example. Yeah, but yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I should try cardiac surgery next.
Okay.
Maybe that seems interesting.
Okay. No, but why can't you treat it like a job is what I'm trying to say. Because not every job is fun every day. No?
I can't. I just get bored of repetitive stuff.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay. So it's basically that I look at this as an expression of my creativity. Is that it?
I look at it as the pursuit of joy.
Okay.
And if it brings me joy, I will do it.
Is that how you look at everything in life?
Mostly, yes.
Okay. So, for example, let's say you have a friend. That friend is somebody that gives you some amount of joy.
Yeah.
That's how you keep your friends.
I guess, yeah.
Okay. If you're doing this interview,
yeah,
it's because you hope to get some joy out of it.
Yeah, and it's there's a lot of joy in meeting somebody who I grew up reading so much.
Okay,
so, yeah.
so everything in your life is centered around the pursuit of joy.
Yes.
Okay.
The economy of joy.
What is that?
It's where the currency is joy,
Joy,
and I try and derive it by staying awake all night, taking care of my toddler, and then turning up sleep deprived for an interview, and hoping to find joy in the other person's faces.
Do you find joy in your toddler?
In my toddler, yes.
Okay, that's pure joy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Unadulterated
Joy. Maybe you should just have a lot of children. No, that's you guarantee yourself joy.
I'm afraid that joy is limited.
Okay. Till the kid grows up. And,
yeah.
Okay.
I'm happy with just 1 unit of joy.
1 unit of joy.